So welcome everyone. We are today on our fourth lecture, and last time Swamiji had, I think, began to kind of touch upon the third chapter of the Bhagavad Gita.
No. We are still on the second chapter. I'll complete it this time.
Yeah, second chapter, but I think you had briefly mentioned
the theme of the third chapter I mentioned.
Yes. Yeah. So now I request Swamiji to kindly continue from there.
Yes, sir. 1 second. Yep. Samasta jana kalyane naratham karunamayam namami chinmayam devam satgurum brahmavitvaram. Am I audible loud enough?
Yes, we can hear you, Swamiji. Yeah.
Right. Thank you. So last time what we discussed were how important it is to keep the mind balanced between heat and cold, joy and sorrow, name and fame, victory, defeat. In all this, we should know to keep ourselves balanced because none of these experiences will be with us forever. All of them come, they are there for a while and they leave. So this is what we discussed. And now we will take up some of the most often quoted, very famous lokas of the Gita. And all those who have watched Mahabharata would know, would remember this. Mahabharata serial I'm talking about. Karmanne vadikaraste ma phaleshu kadachana ma karma phala heturbuhu ma te sangostva karmani. The teacher tells us here, Krishna tells Arjuna, Karmanne vadikaraste. Adhikara, you have a right. Adhikara, stay to you. On karmani eva, on action alone. Karmani eva adhikaraste ma phaleshu kadachana, not over the results. You can wish what you want on the action, not on the result. Because the result is not in our hands. Action is in our hands. All the capabilities, what we can do is with the action, not on the result. Result belongs to the future. Action belongs to the present. Karmani eva adhikaraste. You have a right, adhikara, on karma alone, on action alone. So perform your karma, perform your duty. Don't bother about the result. Ma phaleshu kadachana. Don't bother about the results, nor be attached to it. Don't have to be attached to the result either. Let the result come. Whatever is the result, let it come. Let us not be attached to it. This is what the verse generally means. Means, first thing, in whatever action we are performing, let us give our best to the action. The result of that action belongs to the future. And please remember, future is uncertain. Present is certain. So it is wisdom to have a right on the action which is present. Result belongs to the future. So none of us have any right over the future. We are not sure about the future. Whether it will happen, whether it may happen, may not happen, we are not sure. One, future is uncertain. And even if it happens, whether I am there or not sure. Again, there is uncertain. So what is certain? Certain is what we are now. Be happy in the now. Be happy in the present. Perform what you have to do in the present. Don't unnecessarily attach to the result, which belongs to the future. And future is uncertain. Present is certain. Now, when we are discussing this, present is certain. I am sure most people would say, yeah, that makes sense. I will practice it one day. I will put it into practice one day. One day, you are going to the future. That one day is not certain for us. What is certain is now. So if I have to decide, I will be happy in the now. I'll be happy today, not in the future. Let me be happy in the present. Let me be happy today. Let the result come. Now, why is it so hard for all of us to be happy in the present? Why is it so hard? What is it that is so difficult that I can't be happy in the present? Think. What is it so hard to be happy in the present? You know what happens to us? Most of the time, we forget what we have received. We only remember what we have not got. We forget what we have already received. Now, please think from childhood to now. From childhood to now, how much God has blessed us with. How many small desires to some of the major desires which we wanted so badly, we have got it. Sometimes this passing desire, we have got it. So much what we have aspired, we have got it. Probably a handful we would have missed. That handful what we have missed, our mind is on it more than what we have received. To practice karmanevadikaraste ma phaleshu kadachana, you should be in a position to celebrate the action. You must be in a position to be happy in the action. By doing the action, you must find joy, not in the result. So that means I must understand already I am blessed. Already the Lord has blessed me with so much. I have received so much from the Lord already. When I remember what I have received, there is contentment. So a content, happy mind performs action as best as that mind can. Not a distracted mind, not a mind which is depressed, not a mind which wants, has lost hope and then attached to the result, anticipating something else in the future. A mind like that fails. So Krishna says very clearly, Karmane vadikaraste ma phaleshu kadachana. Your right is over the action, Arjuna. That means let us learn to be happy with our action. Let us learn to be happy with our action. When I'm performing something, there I must find joy. If I find joy there, it's nice. Why is it I'm not able to find joy in what I'm doing? Because I still think I'm missing something. I still think I'm not happy. I still think if I get two other things which I want, then I will be happy. Have we not cheated our life like this from childhood? If I get this, I'll be happy. If I go there, I'll be happy. As a child, have we not thought that if I go into the university, I will be happy? A school kid always thought entering into the university, you'll be more happy. You get into the university, are you happy? You still think, like maybe if I get a job, I'll be happy. This goes on. You get a job, are you happy? No, if I think I should be married, then I'll be happy. Goes on. Think. After marriage, are you happy? No, I need 2 children. Then I'll be happy. And then you get the kids. Now are you happy? No, not impossible. Now till I see these kids through, my happiness is gone. And probably after retirement life, sometimes we say, okay, I've settled now. Gone through everything and now, at least are you happy now? No. My school days were the best in my life. I keep thinking about it. So when are you happy? Always missing something. Let's get be done with this. I should not miss anything. I should know to enjoy what I have in the present. For that, I must be content with what I have already got. If only for a few minutes you can sit and introspect how much of blessings are there in your life. How much of blessings has made you what you are today? How much of blessings are there so that you are happy? If we get this idea clearly in our head, then we will celebrate the action. Karmani evadikaraste. I'll enjoy the action, saying results can wait because I'm finding joy in the action. Result is in the future, which is uncertain, but I'm happy on what is certain, the action. People will celebrate the action, not the result. My teacher, Swami Chinmaya Gurudev used to tell us, the joy is in the race run and not in the trophy won. If we learn this art of being happy in the race, not in the trophy. So Krishna's advice is focus on your action. Do not invest in your result because the result belongs to the future, which is uncertain. When the future is uncertain, what can I do? Investing in uncertainty is not wisdom. Investing in certainty is wisdom. This action alone is certain. Let us learn to be happy with what we do. And if the future result comes as you want, very good. So he says here, karmane vadikaraste ma phaleshu kadachana ma karma phalahetur buhu mate sangostva karmani. Where he clearly says, hey Arjuna, please understand this much. You have a choice over action alone, never over the results. May you not be motivated by the results of action. May you not an inclination towards inaction. Oh, so I need not perform anything. Then you land up with namas. Not doing anything will put us into lethargy. What is right, we should do. What is our nitya karma, we should do. 5 yajnas we have to perform in our life, which we should do. One of these days, when we are doing chapter 3, I will cover the 5 yajnas which we have to perform in our life. And that's such a beautiful thing. Panchamaha yajna it is called. It covers the individual to the universal level. Beautiful way of life prescribed. That is part of when we discuss 3rd chapter, I'll touch that. So Panchamaha yajna we have to perform. Nitya karma we have to perform. So I cannot be detached to action, saying I won't do anything. Why? Because I'm not attached to the result. I'm not motivated to do action. No. Action we must do. We must enjoy action. Result, we should not be bothered. Then the action becomes quality. Total quality. Mind brings you total quality management, total quality result. So if a mind performs well, being in the present, the action is efficient, skillful, the result will be the same. But an over-anxious mind performing in the present, we lose. So both ways, anxiety in the present destroys the quality of fruit. Not able to be happy in the present destroys the quality of the fruit. So if we are happy in the present, what comes, let it come. So this is one of those very, very famous verses of the Gita, where Krishna says clearly, Arjuna, learn to celebrate your action. Learn to celebrate performance of your duty. Small, small actions we do, let us learn to celebrate it. Let us learn to be happy in the action. Why? Because your right is on the action. By simply performing, if we are happy, why are we bothered about the result? While performing, we are not happy. We expect a particular kind of a result. Only then I think I will be happy. Most of the life has gone with this kind of a mindset. At least now we should change, saying, I'll be happy today. From this happiness, let tomorrow be born. I think we discussed in one of the earlier lectures, wise men do not work for happiness. Wise men work from happiness. Not for happiness. There is a difference. A student of Gita, a practitioner of Gita, would work from happiness, not for happiness. When we work from happiness, happiness comes in the future also. This is the best way to live. Understanding present is certain, let me invest in the present. Future is uncertain, let us not go there. Even if the result comes as I want, maybe I'm not in the right frame of mind to enjoy it that time. So the result in the present is very important. I mean, the focus in the present is very important. That is where we should know to celebrate, enjoy our action, our duty, etc. So in simple ways, never forget your blessings. I remember my guru telling us, being unhappy in life is being ungrateful to God. I have paraphrased this line. This is what he meant. Being ungrateful to God is I'm complaining about life. I'm unhappy. After getting so much in life, we still complain. After receiving so much in life, we still complain. We are still unhappy. What kind of people are we? After getting this much in life, we still say, oh Lord, you failed. You didn't make me happy, complete. That's not correct. So that's why Swami Chinmaya said, Gurudev said, if you are unhappy, if you are complaining, you are ungrateful. Now, this is a powerful statement. That means I have no right to be unhappy. If we are a student of Gita, better be happy. Let us recognize what the Lord has already blessed us with. If that point becomes clear, we are done. And then he says in the next verse, Yogastha kuru karmani sangam tyaktva dhananjaya siddhya siddhyau samo bhutva samatvam yoga uchyate. Now this is again a brilliant verse, beautiful one-liner you need to remember. The last line of the verse, samatvam yoga uchyate. Krishna is giving a beautiful definition for yoga. Yoga. Because very often this word is completely abused. Yoga, and even more today. I have got videos. You do anything and you can add yoga behind it. I think one video I got from some youngsters from London. Drinking beer. Beer yoga. Come on, yaar. There's a limit by which you can abuse a word. Now you'll take a particular posture and then you gulp some beer and then you call it yoga. But Krishna gives a beautiful definition. What is yoga? The word yoga itself means that which helps you to join, connect. To connect. A seeker through yoga connects to the Lord. Join. You go back home. Getting back home. Joining back to your source. Yoga. So here Krishna's definition is samatvam yoga uchyate. What is yoga? Uchyate. It is said, what is yoga? Samatvam is yoga. Balance of mind is yoga. Now, how should I practice that? He says in the same words, Yogastha kuru karmani Sangam Tyaktva Dhananjaya. Hey Dhananjaya, hey Arjuna. Sangam Tyaktva. Practice detachment. Don't have to be attached to everything that comes to you. We discussed this. To have and not to possess. Having is not a problem. Possessing it is a problem. Last class we discussed that. Have, but don't hold on to it. Sangam Tyaktva. Now this word is Sangam Tyaktva or Asakti. This particular idea of detachment in Bhagavad Gita, 84 times Krishna speaks about it. In 700 verses, one particular thing is repeated 84 times. Please think how important it is. In roundabout, here, there, he'll come to the same point. Sangam Tyaktva. Hey Arjuna, practice detachment, Arjuna. Practice detachment. You have what you want, but don't possess it. Have it. Having no problem. Mentally owning it is the problem. Having there is no problem. Ownership in the mind is the problem. Ownership is an illusion. It is not true. Ownership is not true. What do you own? What is that I own? You own a house? Do you own a house? I own a house. Go ask the bird, whose house is it? The bird which comes to your house. The bird which lives in your house, ask that bird, whose house is it? The bird does not know how you own the house. The bird thinks this is my house. Owning is a mental idea. Have it, but mentally don't own it. Having anything is not a problem. Owning it is a problem. Owning it means I am possessive of it. I am dependent on it. When I'm dependent on it, I lose my faith. I lose my sleep. Why? Because independency, by depending on something, we feel very insecure. That which I depend, if it is taken away, I am finished. So here he says, Yogastha Kuru Karmani, Sangam Tyaktva Dhananjaya. With the spirit of yoga, perform your action, O Arjuna. Sangam Tyaktva Dhananjaya. Don't be attached. Be detached and perform your action. Siddhya Siddhi. When you are victorious, be detached. When you have failed, be detached. Don't allow both to hit you. I was reading long back some of the poems written by Hermann Hesse. Hermann Hesse is one of those authors who have got the Nobel Prize. And he has written that beautiful book called Siddhartha. Hermann Hesse has written a beautiful book called Siddhartha. It's a wonderful book. Those who have not read, I would recommend you can read this book. It's a novel in English. It's not the life of Prince Siddhartha. It is a life of a seeker. You and I can identify with that seeker who goes through up and down till he reaches. Beautiful book. This guy, Hermann Hesse, has a set of poems collection. I was reading one of them. In one poem, he says, I was standing in front of a house which had a nice old oak tree, huge, tall, and it was a beautiful house. I was standing in front of it for a few minutes, and for those few minutes, I owned the house. I left it and I went. Somebody's house, you are passing by on the roadside, you looked at it, and he said, for these few minutes, I owned this house. I walked away. I mean, look at the level of detached perception. What is ours? Why are we caught up in this ownership? Remember last time also we discussed, Maya sits in this too, I and mine. I, mine. Maya operates from there. Moha operates from there. The biggest power point of moha is mine, mine, mine. So if we are clear about it, that these things are provided to me, I hold it for a while, I play with it for a while, not holding it, I have it for a while and then I leave it. With victory and defeat, keep the same attitude. Siddhya siddhav. Whoever practices this way, samatvam yoga uchyate. He is called a yogi. That is called yoga. So for us to become a yogi, it's not just that we do pranayama. That's also one part of it. It's not that just we do asana. Through pranayama, asana, our mind also must get balanced. And if we can get this mind balanced, we have become a yogi. Samatvam yoga uchyate. This line is powerful, please remember, because it's one of the most beautiful definitions Krishna has given on what is yoga. Samatvam. The mind which is balanced is yoga. So how do we go about it? Perform your actions, not attached to it. Results come, take what comes on your way, don't be attached to it. Will I be happy that way? Try it and see, you will be more happy. Be detached to everything. How will I be happy? No. Try it and see. All those masters who have reached detachment, we call them Ananda. Isn't it? Vivekananda. Blissful, which is their own self. So through detachment, if we learn to practice our life, we will enjoy our life much better. Through attachment, if we practice our life, we may enjoy something, but with deep insecurity, with deep tension. Remember, I think we discussed about Socrates going to the shopping mall. Socrates walked through the marketplace and his disciples asked him, why do you do this every time? You're not buying anything, but you're going there. Why do you do this? Why do you go to the market every day when you don't want to buy anything? You stand there, stop, stare, and then you go back. Why do you do this? And Socrates' reply was, I go there just to see how happy I am without any of them. Without any of it, how happy I am. Try it once. Huh? Go to Connaught Place. You all are in Delhi only. No? Go there. Go to Connaught Place and tell yourself, I am practicing Samatvam Yoga Uchyate. Walk through those shopping malls without allowing anything to disturb your mind. And when we can do it, we will very honestly recognize, I don't need most of this. I'm still happy. I have it, I am happy. I don't have it, I'm still happy. This is important. And one more verse on this we'll take, and then I'll go into that other portion which I told you, Sthita Prajna. Here, this is the 50th verse. In this, I'm just taking one line, Yoga Karma Sukhaushalam, because we had question answers on this last time. We had a lot of discussion on this particular line, Yoga Karma Sukhaushalam. This comes in, this is the 50th verse of chapter 2, in which Krishna gives another beautiful definition for yoga. Dexterity in action is yoga. Karmasu kaushalam. Yoga karmasu kaushalam. Dexterity in action is yoga. Now, what does that mean? When I have to perform an action, I must give my best to that action. First point. Any small action which we have to do, give your best to that. That means be there in the action physically, mentally, be there in the action. when an action is performed. First qualification. When an action is performed, physically and mentally, let us be there in the action. Most of the time, mentally we are not there. Physically we are there in an action. Mind can be far away. Body is in one place. Mind can be far away. So yoga karma sukhaushalam means physically, mentally be in that action. Only then you can give your best to that action. Giving your best to it. Why do you give your best to it? Because I like giving my best. Not for any other reason. I like giving my best. Why should I give my best? Because I like giving it. To whom are you giving it? Let us dedicate it to the Lord. Let us dedicate to the altar of our love. To the altar of our love, to the altar of our devotion, let us dedicate. So the action which we perform, mind and body involved in it, we give the best in that action, and that action is dedicated to the Lord. When an action is performed with mind, body involved in it fully, and the action is, and you have given your best in that action, and that action is dedicated to the Lord, and to the very action you are not attached, then the karma of that action cannot touch us. Otherwise, we get caught in karma phala. I perform an action and the result keeps coming to us. And when the result comes, the consequence of my action, I only have to pay. Every action of mine, intelligently, unintelligently performed with a sense of doership, not dedicated to the Lord, not being detached to that action, that action will give me that kind of a result. And the person performed alone has to meet the result. In Ramayana, you know the story of Vali Sugriva. I'm sure most of you know Vali Sugriva. Both were brothers. Some misunderstanding happened. Vali misunderstood Sugriva completely and started chasing Sugriva to kill him. Sugriva used to run from one place to another and Vali will catch up. And when Vali catches up, Sugriva has to leave that place and go to another place. Again, somehow Vali would come there. Wherever Sugriva went, Vali chased him. And then there was one mountain, Rishyamukha. In this mountain, Vali could not come. There was a curse that if Vali comes to this mountain, he will die. No, not Vali. Vali. If Vali comes to this mountain, he'll die. Why? Because Vali threw a dead buffalo in Matanga Rishi's ashram when he was meditating and yagya and all people were doing. He flung a dead buffalo. So the Rishi cursed, whoever has flung this buffalo here, if he comes here, he'll die. So the whole reason is don't come to this mountain again. So Vali understood that this is a curse. If he goes there, he will die. And this is the mountain Sugriva was taking shelter. Now, what does this mean? Think. Wherever Sugriva went, Vali chased him. But in this particular mountain, Vali cannot go. Sugriva was safe there. What do you think is this? Any action performed, karma will chase. But in Rishyamukha Parvat, look at the name Rishyamukha, facing the mukha of the Rishi. Basically, satsang. There, karma phala cannot come. That which we learn in satsang, by which we learn to perform an action. That action which we perform, we dedicate it to the Lord. We give our best to that action, and to that very action we are detached. Then karma cannot come to us. Karma phala will not come. So Krishna's method of teaching us how to live is learn to live life here so well that your action, what you perform, does not attract karma phala. This particular statement is very, very important. Yogaha karmasu kaushalam. Action we cannot avoid. When we are alive, we have to perform action. Some action or other, all of us will perform. So he says here, perform action in such a manner the karma phala of that action doesn't touch you. This is called karma yoga. Performing action in a manner in which the karma phala doesn't touch us. Think. It's a very deeply loaded statement of the Gita. Yoga karmasu kaushalam. Dexterity in action is yoga. Giving your best in that action. Point number one. Mind and intellect and mind and body involved. Point two, dedicate that action to the Lord. Oh Lord, you have given me this opportunity. I am dedicating it to you. Dedicate it to the Lord. Point two. This is for you, O Lord. I am offering it back to you. This is my way of invoking the Lord. And to that very action, you are not attached. If we can practice this, be assured Lord will come to you. We don't have to seek. Performing our duty, our action as best as we can, dedicating that action to the Lord, and to that very action one is not attached, the Lord will come to you. In Hanuman Chalisa, there is a beautiful description that when Lakshmana was hit by an arrow and he was dead, he was almost in coma, and he has to be revived before the sun comes up. Before dawn, he has to be revived. And the only way is the medicine. So Hanuman goes and brings the medicine. So the sloka there in Hanuman Chalisa says, Laya sajivan lakana jiaye, Sri Raghuvira harasi urulai. What did Rama do? When Hanuman brought the drug, Lakshman survived. Ram went and hugged Lakshman. Sorry, Ram went and hugged Hanuman. Hanuman brought the drug, Lakshman survived. In that joy, Ram went and hugged Hanuman. Now, this line is beautiful. It is Ram who went and hugged Hanuman, not that Hanuman was asking. Think. Today, people ask, please give me a hug. You could be sweating, or the other person could be sweating. Please give me a hug. Please give me a hug. And worst of it is when they ask it in a phone. Give me a hug in a phone. What generation is this today? Give me a hug. Don't even ask anything even to the Lord. Perform your action. Yoga karma sukhaushalam. Make him come to you. Like Hanuman did. He performed his action. It is Ram who ran to him and hugged him. We have that capacity. We have that potential. to perform as best as we can and invoke the Lord through our action. Nowhere in the world you will find such a beautiful literature where you can invoke the Lord by performing good action at the best of your ability. An action performed in that way invokes the Lord. From where to where the prayer has become today? Please think. What is the Bhagavad Gita standard of prayer? And what have we done to prayer today? With a heart without any gratitude, we go to Lord again and again and keep asking something or other. Artha, Artharthi, only between these two. Artha, Artharthi, shuttling only between these two. For years together. Lord, give me this, give me that, or take care of my health, reduce my problems. Only this. Continuously. Whereas Hanuman was not like that. He said, here I am. I have to perform an action. I performed. To the best of my ability, I performed the action. You perform and wait. Lord will come running to you. And he hugs you. How beautiful is that? Yoga karma sukhaushalam. So every small action, imagine what Krishna is expecting us to do. What is Krishna trying to tell us? He is telling us every small action which you perform to your best of your ability. Live life like that. At every action, give your best. And every action where you give your best, dedicate it to the Lord as an offering to the Lord. It is offered as prayer, Krishna Arpanam. Small action, well performed, dedicated to the Lord, and to that action or to that result, don't be attached. Karma cannot bind us. Action performed in this spirit, there is no karma phala to it. Vali cannot reach there. You are in the safe place. Otherwise, Vali will catch. Karma phala will catch. Karma, wherever you go, phala comes. Wherever Sugriva goes, Vali attacked. But in this one place, Sugriva was safe. Vali cannot go. We also should learn the art of performing action by which karma doesn't come to us. You understand? This theme is the theme of the entire third chapter. The whole third chapter is dedicated on karma yoga, how an action which we perform can become yoga. So remember this particular line. Yoga karmasu kaushalam. Dexterity in action is yoga. Okay. Now we will see the last portions of the chapter 2. The last 18 verses of chapter 2 is like an Upanishad. Before we go to third chapter, I want all of you to do a self-study on this. Whichever book you have, whoever is the commentator, go to verse 54. The verse 54 of the Gita is a question where Arjuna is asking. And this portion is called Sthita Prajna Lakshana. Please remember this word. Sthita Prajna Lakshana. Sthita Prajna means one who is established in wisdom. One who is enlightened. One who is established in wisdom. Who is steadfast in wisdom. Lakshana. What are the characteristics? See the portion of this, the portion of Gita here. This portion talks about what are the characteristics of a man who is established in wisdom. What are the traits? of the person who is established in wisdom. So Arjuna puts a question to Krishna. And what Krishna answers, that portion is called Sthita Prajna Lakshana. Now, in the earlier lecture also I told you earlier, that Upanishad means a student goes to a teacher, puts a question, and the teacher answers. A dialogue between student and teacher, where student raises few questions and the teacher answers. This dialogue is called Upanishad. Here, this portion is also like an Upanishad. The student in Arjuna puts a question and Krishna answers. There are 18 verses. We will not be touching all the 18, but I'm talking to you how important these 18 verses are. So before we do the third chapter, it would be really nice for you to read all these 18 verses. Read, reflect on it. We will see few verses now, but you must do this reading and reflection on these 18 verses before we take up the next lecture. So it goes like this. Arjuna Uvacha. Arjuna is asking, Sthita Prajnasya ka bhasha samadhi stasya keshava sthitadhir kim prabhaseta kim asita vrajeta kim. Verse number 54. Those who are having a book, second chapter. Sthita Prajnasya ka bhasha. What are the characteristics of a Sthita Prajna? How does he sit? How does he talk? How does he move about? What is the description of a wise person who is established in Atma, who is steadfast, who is enlightened? What is the description of this person? If I come across someone, how would I recognize? That's what he means. If I come across an enlightened person, how do I recognize? So here the question is, how does the wise man speak? Bhashate. How does he speak? How does he sit? How does he walk? What are his qualities? Arjuna is asking a very nice question. Krishna, please tell me. You have been talking about yoga karma sukaushalam. You have been talking about karmanyavadikaraste, samatvam yoga uchyate. You have explained, and you are in the beginning itself, Krishna, you said about a wise man has no worries. Asochan anvasochastvam prajnavadan shabasase. You have described the wise man like this. Now tell me, how does he talk? How does he sit? How does he move around? Because some of us have great notions about enlightened people. And some of these notions are unbelievable. The kind of notions people have. That the enlightened stays in samadhi always. Always in samadhi? If he speaks, what does he say? He'll speak only in Sanskrit. How does he move about? How does he live? These are the questions. Basically, Arjuna is saying, tell me, suggest some signs, suggest some characteristics, traits, which I can recognize. Then I know, oh, this man could be a Sthita Prajna. Seeing the values, seeing these qualities in someone, I may think, yeah, this person could be Sthita Prajna. So what are the qualities of a wise man? Generally, when we take this topic, this particular portion, when we take, the title what we give for this talks are Wise and the Otherwise. Wise and the Otherwise. Arjuna, you and me, otherwise. Krishna, the wise. So here is a question from the otherwise. asking the wise, how? How do I see this? How does he talk? How does he go about? Please tell me what are his descriptions. Here I'll read 1, 2 verses from that. The hallmark of a man of steady wisdom, a person who is established in wisdom. Sri Bhagavan Vacha. Bhagavan says, Prajahati yada kaman sarvan partha manogatan atmani eva atmana tushtaha stita prajnas tadocchate dukkeshu vanudvigna manaha sukeshu vigata sprihaha vitaraga bhaya krodaha stita dhir muniruchyate. 2 verses. Arjuna asks, tell me, how does he say? How does he live? How do I see these people? Give me some indications to recognize someone who is established in wisdom. So here Krishna says, Prajahati yada kaman sarvan partha manogatan. The Lord answered, O Arjuna, this person, Atmani eva Atmana tushtaha. Atmani eva Atmana tushtaha. Santushta, santosha, happy, content. One of the signs of men of wisdom are Atmani eva Atmana tushtaha. That person remains happy with himself, in herself, in himself. Meaning, this person doesn't need the world around or people around to make that person happy. He is happy by himself or in herself. She is happy in herself. He is happy in himself. You don't need an outside source to trigger happiness in you. You are happy by yourself. How much time can you spend in solitude? Just being by yourself. Try this sometime. Take time off. And that phone, what you have, please switch it off. Be by yourself. How long can you be? I used to do a program for the youth, which is called Youth Empowerment Program. In that, sometimes we put youngsters into compulsory solitude for 24 hours to 36 hours. Rare case, 48 hours. Mostly 24 hours solitude. In a room where we don't allow a person to take even his phone or even a book. No book, no phone, nothing. Go into a room, you are locked from outside, stay in that room. 24 hours doing nothing. I want you to try this sometime. Doing nothing, stay quietly for some time. Let us see how much time you can. Doing nothing, no phone, no book, nothing. People immediately ask, can I do japa? I said, no. Don't do anything, just stay, sit quietly. Without doing anything, try to be quiet. How long can you be quiet without doing anything? And when we put these youngsters into this kind of an exercise, when they come out, we hear stories. The kind of stories they tell you is unbelievable. There are people who keep shifting furniture in the room every 1 hour. You drag the chair here, put the cot there. Why? You're alone in the room. No, I can't sit quietly doing nothing. I have to do something. Why this level of restlessness just to be with yourself? Just to be with yourself doing nothing. Why this level of restlessness? It's so boring. Who's boring? It is so boring. Don't say it. You tell me who's boring. Being with yourself is so boring. Then what is our personality? And we thrust this personality on others. When I have to be with myself, I feel bored. If someone outside is boring you, one can understand. XYZ is boring you. One can understand. No outside source, only you with yourself. Boring. And one cannot be. Ramana Maharishi went into a cave by himself, nothing. Atmani eva atmana tushtaha. And once he settled in himself, he did not even want to speak. 11 years he was in silence. Atmani eva atmana tushtaha. Not even talking to anybody. Lives alone in a cave. From that standpoint of understanding, are you happy with yourself? Are you content with yourself? Do you find tripti, contentment in you? Just being you. A wise person is not depending on anything outside. He is happy or she is happy by herself. So the most powerful line we have to understand here is WOW. What is WOW? WOW. What is it? Wow. WOW. With or without. With people or without people. With objects or without objects. With or without anyone or anything, I can be happy. Wow. Just try and remember that. WOW. With or without. One who can be like that, Atmani eva atmana tushtaha. He is happy with himself. Such people, when they come out to the world and perform, as we discussed earlier, they perform from happiness, not for happiness. We are the disgruntled people. So much we have been blessed and still we are not happy. Still we are seeking hundreds of things. Continuously seeking. Why? So with or without, we will be happy. Try attempting to practice this. With things going well, I'll be happy. If things don't go well, I will remember all that I have been blessed with and I'll still be happy. Try practicing this. How long should I practice? We'll break this up. This will become a little more easier. Try practicing this evening. Forget tomorrow and all that. This evening, try practicing this. Without anyone also, I am fine. With people also, I am fine. I remember I have been blessed by the Lord so much. I am content. Do not allow this moha maya to disturb you by making you discontent. Remembering something which we don't have makes us unhappy. Never forget what you are already blessed with. Practice this for this evening alone. Meaning, for the rest of the evening, I will not be unhappy. One day, for all that we have studied till now, for all the knowledge which we have received, apply everything for this evening. This one evening today, let it be anything. I will stay happy. I will not allow unhappiness to disturb me. I will not be disturbed this evening. If we can practice this, then tell yourself tomorrow. Tomorrow for 2 hours I will practice this. Let's say morning 8 to 10 tomorrow, 8 a.m. to 10 a.m. I will practice this, come what may. At 10:01, I can become the most powerful Asuric force on earth. But till 10, I will be a Sthita Prajna. Atmani eva atmana tushtaha. 10:01, I'll jump. But till 8 to 10, 2 hours, say, I will practice Sthita Prajna. Atmani eva atmana tushtaha. I will not allow anything in the world to disturb me. Practice it daily for 2 hours. Try. You know what happens? Without you knowing, that 2 hours will expand to 3 hours. Without you knowing, throughout the day, that 2 hours will become multiply itself. Many, many times you will see that you are not disturbed by the world. Your reactions to the world will also be calmed. Try practicing this evening for some time. And every day just say, for 2 hours, I will be a Sthita Prajna. Atmani eva atmana tushtaha. I will not allow anything in the world to disturb me these 2 hours. Why? This 2 hours is my private time with God. My private time with the wisdom of Gita. This 2 hours I have dedicated for the wisdom of Gita to seep into me. I will not allow anything to disturb me. This conviction. Every day start doing it, and then you will see how naturally we can start practicing Atmani eva atmana tushtaha. Not being disturbed by anything. So here he says, Prajahati yada kaman sarvan partha manogatan atmani eva atmana tushtaha sthita prajna stadochate. A person who is able to remain that way is a sthita prajna. Now this verse is also beautiful. Dukkesh vanud vigna manaha sukeshu vigata sprihaha vita raga bhaya krodha sthita dhir muniruchate. Sukeshu vigata sprihaha, who is free from craving for pleasures, and dukkeshanud vigna manaha, and whose mind is not perturbed, troubled by various things of the world. He is not disturbed by the world, nor is he craving something in the world. And only 3 things he says. Vita, free from raga, bhaya, krodha. Just 3 things. Such a person is called Sthita Muni Ruchate. Yeah, that person is called Muni. Muni means one who is meditative, Manana Shilavan. Who is a Muni? Who is established in that? Who is he? He says, one who is free from Raga, Bhaya, Krodha. Raga, attachment. Bhaya, fear. Krodha, anger. The sign of wisdom. What is Arjuna's question? Tell me, where do I find a Sthita Prajna? How does he walk around? How does he sit around? How does he move around? Let me know. How is he? Krishna says, if you see a person who doesn't crave for the world and does not allow the world to disturb him, and you don't see him attached, scared, and anger. Vita Raga Bhaya Krodha. Free from Raga Bhaya Krodha. Let us try to practice these three. These are the qualities of a Sthita Prajna. One who is free from Raga, attachment, we have discussed. Bhaya, fear. Earlier class also, I remember we discussed Bhartrahari's quotation, verse. Vairagyam eva bhayam. Bhartrahari was a king. And he writes 100 slokas on Vairagya. In that he says, detached alone will be fearless. Vairagyam evam abhayam. One who doesn't have attachment alone is free from fear. Raga bhaya krodha. When there is no attachment, where is krodha? Where is bhaya? Conquer attachment. Bhaya and krodha is conquered. So in a person, in your family, in your workplace, with whom you transact, with whom you interact, with whom you move around, if you see raga minimum, krodha minimum, bhaya minimum, he is on the path towards perfection. He's got the qualities of wise men. Now, where is Krishna telling this? In a battlefield to Arjuna. Krishna is telling Arjuna, Arjuna, in the war field, you can fight war without bhaya, krodha and raga. Get these off your head and fight the war. In a war, if this can be practiced, in a boardroom, this can't be practiced. In a family, this can't be practiced. I was talking with Honorable Governor of Manipur, Ila Ganeshan. Ila Ganeshan ji is from Chennai. We know him well. I was in Manipur 3 weeks ago. I was there and he was hosting us, and I'm going to start a series of lectures on the Bhagavad Gita in Imphal, Manipur. So he asked, where are you going to conduct that? He also said, if he finds time, he'll come and attend. Where are you going to conduct? I said, one of our trustees there, he runs few hotels. So I said, in this hotel, there's a conference room. That's where these talks will happen. For a moment, he said, in a hotel, you give Gita talks? I said, is he saying something wrong? And the next moment, he himself said, if Gita can be given in a battlefield, why not in a hotel? In a battlefield, if this can be practiced, freedom from raga, bhaya, krodha, in family we can't do. In boardroom we can't do. In sports field we can't do. In schools we can't do. These are the qualities in our mind we should get rid of. If we do that, this line is so beautiful where he says, Stitadhir Muni Ruchate. It is said such a person is a Muni who is steadfast in wisdom. Stitadhir Muni Ruchate. If one is free from raga, bhaya, krodha. Get yourself free from this. Only three, that's what he says. And I am jumping, skipping as we do always, because limited time, we can't cover all these verses. I go straight to verse number 70. And after that, we will open up for discussion. This verse, Krishna gives an example of ocean. The verse 70, he says, Apuryamanam achala pratishtam samudramapa pravishanti advat tadvat kamat yap pravishanti sarve sa shanti mapnoti na kama kami. In this verse, Krishna is giving an example. A sthita prajna, a man or a woman who is established in knowledge, he or she. How is this person? He says, this person is like an ocean. Ocean. Look at ocean. Just imagine how much of water must be pouring into the ocean every moment, every second, every minute. How much of water from the rivers must be entering the ocean every moment. Every moment, just think, every second, imagine. All the rivers in the world, water's rushing, gushing, and enters into the ocean. Ocean has the ability to receive all of that. And ocean doesn't flood. It has the capacity to receive. Ability to take. Whatever comes, it knows to receive. Doesn't react, saying, no, too much. I'm throwing it out. No, okay, any amount come in. Ocean receives. A wise person has that kind of a strength. Anything coming on life, that person would know to take it, accept it. Just like ocean accepting waters, whatever be the action, good, bad, indifferent, favorable, unfavorable, conducive, unconducive, any kind of an action or a result, when it comes, this person would know to take it like an ocean and not get disturbed. So Krishna says, wise man has that rare ability to accept life, to whatever life offers, and not be disturbed by it. Lord Ram was one of those examples. Dasharath called and said, you will be crowned prince, you are the king, we'll do the coronation. Within few minutes, Kaikeyi calls and says, your father has given boons to me, and one by one you have to go to the forest, and Bharat will be the king. Second boon. Kingdom given, Rama said, thank you. Kingdom taken away, Rama did not lose his balance. A teenager, a 16, 17-year-old teenager, this was offered and this was taken away. His balance was not lost. Sthita prajna. Any experience coming, they have the ability to accept. Just like how ocean accepts whatever pours into it, ocean accepts. The wise person has the strength to accept whatever comes to them. What are the qualities of a wise man? These are the qualities. Okay, I would stop here. We have 15 minutes for interaction. But I repeat, I strongly recommend all of you to read this chapter, verse 54 to 72. Study these verses at least twice or thrice before we go to third chapter. The floor is open for discussion.
Thank you, Swamiji. Thank you very much. Since we have only 15 minutes left, I think I would request Ambassador Satish Chandra to